What's up, guys? This is LIGHTSTAR, and I'm back for another episode that you are not going to want to miss, because this one has got some dragon codes and energies here that I know all of you guys really could use right now. And I'm also going to share a new image also having to do with dragon energy that I've created for you and for the world. And that's going to be going into my second Magical Dimensions Oracle deck number 2. The second edition will be coming out in a few years, but I'm sharing the image now. And it's just very relevant for what's going on. So definitely don't want to miss that. I'm also going to talk about some things that are going on the planet right now, and especially some fires that we need to put out, literally. So collectively, we need your help with that. And I'm going to share some of that information, as well as some Dreamtime stuff that's coming up. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this one. So grab your coffee, your tea, your health bar, or whatever you would like. And let's dive into today's content. What's up, everybody? This is LIGHTSTAR, and I hope you guys are doing well. I'm back on another episode here for some activation and also some updates as well. So we're going to share some different things going on that I think are very important right now, and also going to be doing some awesome activation that a lot of you guys probably will be very excited about, because as I'm going to give you a little hint, the dragon is back. Okay, so we'll tell you about that in a bit, but I just wanted to welcome you all here today again. Welcome back, everyone, and hugs of light to all my existing tribe members here on YouTube, as well as the other channels, and also for all the new people, also welcome you here as well. And if you are new here and you would like to join this tribe, YouTube calls it subscribe, but I just call it joining the tribe, then please be sure and hit that subscribe button, and also make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you don't miss a thing of new videos that I come out with. And also please feel free to like, share, and comment on the video. I love to respond and comment back to you guys when I read a lot of your comments. And so I love to do that, so please feel free to interact. And also, if you are also watching this and like to watch it on other platforms, I am also on many different platforms, which I've got Brighteon, BitChute, I'm also now on Rumble, I'm on a new one called Float, and Odyssey, and all these links are below in the description area so that you can click on and watch over there as well. They're kind of my backup channels, but also some people like to watch them there. And speaking of other platforms, if any of you guys are having social media issues, being deplatformed, or having censorship happening, please get some assistance with going to another platform, and you have a bunch of videos and you don't have the time to upload them. I highly recommend Matthew Raymer with Anomalist design, and Content Safe is also his website. The links are below. Highly recommend him. He really helped me to get all my video content up, as I could not be spending all the time to do that, and his service is really needed right now. So for those of you that are in this creatorship issue on the platforms and have trouble, then he can certainly help you with all of that stuff. So be sure and click the links below for that. Also, if any of you guys would like to donate to my work, I so appreciate all of you already who have donated and are donating on my platform, either through Patreon or also just by using PayPal. I have links below as well for how you can donate. I so appreciate all of you guys. This takes a lot of my time and energy and work, and I do it all for you all, but it would be helpful if you could also just send some love my way. I send my love to all of you guys for all of your donations. It means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it. So thank you for that. And you can also, again, go to my contact page at lightstarcreations.com. And that has basically all of the places that I'm on, my platforms, places that you can, Patreon link and all that good stuff is on there. So you can check all that stuff out, okay? So before I get into the topic today, which is basically on duality, and I'm also going to do an activation, I want to also talk to you guys about what's going on here locally in Arizona. We are basically on fire here, okay? There are so many fires. At the time I'm filming, and hopefully it'll go up in the next day or so, which will be this weekend, but we've got like literally 71% of all the fires that are happening on the West United States are all happening in Arizona. So we've got like massive fires going on, and we have a very large fire that has burned now 40,000 acres that is like 5 miles away from Sedona. Okay, so we are all on either ready alert, or some of us are in set status to evacuate, and we're just really, we've got another fire that's a little bit south of us here that's also very close, but it's called the Backbone Fire. And that one they have about 6% containment at the moment, but right now the Raphael Fire, which is the one that's closest to Sedona at this moment, is 0% containment. It's very difficult terrain. It's burning all the beautiful forests. It's so sad. But I definitely, really need your guys' energy, and some of you that have been already doing this. We need the rain, okay? And for the last like couple of days, it has been raining slowly in different areas, which is great, because honestly, we hadn't had any rain for like 2 months straight, maybe 3. It's been so dry and so hot. We had a heat wave, and we had no rain whatsoever. And since all these fires started, and especially this one, the ones in this area, I know all of us collectively here have been doing prayers, rain dances, manifesting water, moisture, moisture, moisture. And we actually did create it, because I mean, that's just not a coincidence that all of a sudden it's just hot, dry, we have those fires, and then all of a sudden we start focusing our energy on water and manifesting that, and it starts to rain and the clouds come in and everything. We need to keep that up, okay? We can't stop, because it's supposed to get dry again, hot, and we need to continue these monsoons to come in earlier than normal, which we have been doing. So if you guys are out there, bring some rain on however you can, send some prayers this way. Really want to save the communities and the wildlife and the horses and all the things and the people and the houses and everything around here. We don't want to have to evacuate this area, obviously, but that would be great if you guys could send some love and some rain and some prayers our way as well. And this kind of brings me to the topic that I want to talk about today, which is basically duality. And I'm going to share one of my images that is, I've kind of created about 12 new images, 11, 12, I can't even remember, new images that are going to be in my Magical Dimensions Oracle deck in the 2nd edition. Okay, that won't be out for a couple of years, but I have to do them so far ahead of time. I finished these images, and I'm going to be sharing them with you bit by bit on these videos here. So what I'm going to be sharing you with right now is called Duality, and I'm going to show it up here on screen so you can take a look and be activated by it as we go through all the content. And I'm going to do a light language activation at the end as well. But why this is related to the fires is because this fiery energy, okay, we have a lot of anger and frustration and all these emotions that seem to be causing a lot of disruption. Now, the fires out here were supposedly caused by lightning, dry storms and lightning strikes. Some of them were not, and they're all over in Arizona. It's not just local to here, but there's some big ones. I mean, the Telegraph Fire was down in the Phoenix area, and I think that thing burned over 200,000 acres. Anyway, it's just bad. But for those of us that know what's going on in Arizona, we also have a housing crisis here. I know it's across the country, but everybody's going through this. There's been a lot of disruption. There's been a lot of frustration and anger over the situation here. And I think that also causes some of the fiery energies. Even in my last Oracle Consciousness reading for what would be now, okay, when I did it a couple months or a month ago, and it in there was bringing up the sun, the solar energies, a lot of heat, and now we're seeing the effects of that, okay? So yes, we have to take responsibility for our emotional terrain here and reign so that we can bring the balance back, because this image that I'm going to talk about here is also depicts we needing balance, right? Because it's also showing the polarity of duality, but polarity as well. So we're trying to bring that moisture balance back into basically all across the United States. I'm not sure about the weather out in other countries. I'm just talking about the US at the moment. So I didn't, mean to like disregard all of you guys, but it's just that the United States is like really going through some stuff. But it's like we have moisture on one half, way too much moisture and flooding and, all that. And then we have way too much fire going on in certain areas. So we need to rebalance the moisture levels and rebalance this polarity, okay? So it's like either these major extremes of, water and fires energies. So that's kind of where I'm saying we just need to rebalance these things and get them back into balance. But this image right here called duality, I'm going to read just one part of the information so you have an idea about what it's about, okay? So and this is related to what I'm calling the crimson blue color ray. So the crimson blue color ray resonates to contrast, opposites, and mediation. When division and separation are experienced in the lower densities, a choice point gateway is created. Although turbulence can be experienced within the energetics of this contentious ray, it also creates a bridge for higher pathway to be chosen. In the midst of conflict, therein lies expansion and an initiation of courage to confront all situations with wisdom from the higher realms. And so, as you can see, there's a lot of, you could look at it as though it's good and evil, but it's really the sign of what's going on in our world right now. And that's why I wanted to bring this one up right now, is the dragon energy, but also the energies of polarity and the differences of what's going on here. So we do have like good versus evil in a way, and yet we also have this extreme polarity on the planet of what we're dealing with, all the different things that we're going through, from politically to healthcare to everything, our ideologies, our feelings about things, our beliefs about things, our sovereignty being squelched from all these different things. And we're seeing this coming up to a head, right? And that's where I'm feeling is very important to understand where we are in this kind of, I guess we could say it, war of souls in a way, because we really are. There's a lot of awakening happening on the planet with all the different disclosure and stuff that's happening. We have people awakening, but we also have people that are still sleeping, right? And this awakening process is very difficult and challenging as we go through it. For some people, it's too much. It's too much. They just can't handle it. It's too much. And right now, like really, we have too much going on at one time, all in the midst of it. So it's kind of like this yin-yang balance where we see the polarization of both sides, but we also see the ability to balance this, somehow to shift balance so that it's just like the fire and the water, that there's a balance in the middle of this moisture so that it's not out of control, that the fire is not out of control, and that things are tempered and balanced. Because at the moment, we still are in this 3D dense environment that we're living in. So we have to deal with a lot of this stuff, okay? And one of the things that I wanted to share about this is we're having a lot of dream time activation that's happening, very significant dreams. I know for myself, I've had a couple of, in the last like 2-3 weeks, there was a succession of dreams that came through that were relating to this but I didn't know what it was at the time, but now I'm going to share it because a lot of information comes through my dream time and my dream space. So some of the dreams I started having was people around me that were doing things differently, way differently. I mean, completely out of the ordinary of what I know that person is, okay? Like I have an ex-boss that lives in Colorado. I don't work for the company anymore, but I know him and I know he was an atheist, okay? And really nice guy, but he just had a different belief, right? Didn't believe that. But he, in my dream time, was now doing all these healing that had to do with God and all that. Like there was this healing that he was actually doing. So I thought to myself, wow, that's really different. Okay, then I had a dream about another friend who I know to be vegetarian or might be vegan, but vegetarian, vegan, doesn't eat meat. Then all of a sudden eating raw, not meat, but raw meat, okay? And then I had another dream. I mean, this is just going on. I had another dream of another person that I know who is in a relationship with a good person, but then having a person that was proposing marriage to her that was a like not so good person, like did not have a good vibe about them and was just completely the opposite. So the shadow side was coming in. All these sort of strange things were happening. At first I thought they were like what I call psycho garbage dreams, and I just crumple them up and throw them away, until I started to realize there's a theme here. And the theme with these dreams here with this is showing that the collective consciousness is shifting, okay, big time in our individual lives, but that's happening in the collective and our individual lives. So it's like showing this radical changes to the timelines that are happening, because there are a lot of shifts in the timelines happening as well. I mean, major abrupt changes. As some of us have noticed, it seems like we're really like on a different timeline right now than we were, and things shifted dramatically and abruptly, okay? So it's the sign of spontaneous and radical transformations that are happening in people's lives, and that will be happening in people's lives, because a lot of my dreams are also present, but also things that haven't come to be yet. So as if we haven't had enough, but I do feel unexpected changes, major abrupt changes happening, and this opposite, polarity or even transitions happening that it could be people shifting in location abruptly, like we're going through that right now, having to deal with this transition of where we're going to be living, which we don't know yet still, and that's happening. But a lot of people are doing it also in ways of career and also lifestyle changes. And so that's what my dreams were kind of showing me. So the message basically was for everybody is don't be surprised if someone in your family or your friends or someone around you or somewhere even known that you know of, or maybe don't know them very well, but you see it, makes a complete 180-degree change or shift or transformation in something that they are either doing or who they are or their personality or what they choose for career or where they locate, or their whole life just gets completely changed. And so that's what I'm saying is I'm feeling, and I'm also getting this also has to do with the mental air quality, that there's also going to be shifts with people's mindsets. Like people are going to change their mind really quickly and abruptly, and that's where I'm feeling that this is going in this time right now that we're dealing with. But so that's kind of what I'm saying about the dream time is really up, is showing me a lot of the polarity and the changes and the transitions that are going to be happening. So just be, I guess it's just kind of putting that little, warning, Will Robinson, out there, as to just be conscious and aware that if these things happen, this is what's going on, okay? So with this duality zone, with this change, we're also seeing a lot of fear coming up, right? This is the sign of where we're at in terms of, the dark side, if you will, or the shadow side, trying to sort of take over, and then the light side coming in and dousing out the flames, if you will. to keep everything into a nice balance. And that's what I'm seeing. We're also going through this shift and change at this time with our sovereignty. But as you can see in this image, this can also represent when you're coming together, doing negotiations. This also has to do with that as well. So when you're coming together in negotiation, or when people change sides, okay? Not that we have to have sides, but I'm using this in terms that we understand. Someone changes and goes to the dark side, or someone changes and goes from the dark side to the light side, okay? These shifts and these changes that also where people are kind of coming to the middle ground, okay? As depicted by some of the dragons, just like, and reaching out to, you know, come to the middle ground, okay? And make a choice, okay? So this definitely has to do with choices, like what choice do you want? Where do you want to go? And just to be very, very conscious and aware of where you're at and what is happening in your surroundings, okay? So this is kind of where I wanted to bring this up. It's very important to, I'm not trying to be like bringing in all the dark stuff, like this is horrible, because there's a lot of good things also intermixing with all of the things that are happening. But this is one of the images I wanted to share with you. And so I also wanted to, with this, do a activation. And the activation I want to do, it does have to do with this rebalancing of the weather, I guess you would say, of our minds and the weather literally, okay? Because I don't know about you guys, but I feel that we do affect the weather with our emotions and our mental state especially, okay? So this has to do with the dragon energy coming into balance the weather pattern. So it's kind of, if you will, call it a dragon weather balancing activation, if you will. And even though I'm showing dragons here, I am going, for the sake of this activation and light language transmission, I'm going to actually put up another image here that is one that a lot of you will be familiar with, and that is my Valion the Wisdom Keeper dragon, because this dragon is the one that we want to, I'm also going to enact to work with today to do this, because he's a water dragon and we kind of need that energy here, but also there will be energies to also fire and ice. Fire dragon energy will come in as well, but this water energy is for, let's just say for the area that I'm living in, is representing the water and ice factor, so that we can cool and temper the energies where that is needed at this moment. So anywhere really across the globe, this is also helping to temper the weather wherever it's out of balance, okay? And Valion the Wisdom Keeper, I've done a video on him before, so you can actually go back and watch all about him and how he came to be in my existence here and why I created him. But I didn't create him, but like, you know what I mean? Art created. Like he's like looking at me like, you didn't create me. I'm like, no, I didn't. But I created you visually so that people could see you. So that's kind of what I was meaning. I'm just kidding. But anyway, this is where I wanted to bring in this activation, because I almost want to say Valion is back, because it's been a while. And when I did an activation for that particular video, everybody just so many people were coming out of the woodwork saying, oh my God, my dragon, this dragon, I'm seeing dragons, that dragon activated me, and now I've got this dragon energy, and so many different things were happening. And so I felt it was appropriate to bring the dragon back and to bring the energies back at this most appropriate time, okay? So what we're gonna do here is I want to keep this up here so you can get activated by the energy of the dragon energy here. This dragon energy is much different than the previous one, as you've seen. Dragon looks completely different. It's a totally different type of dragon. It's a little bit more of a friendlier looking dragon. Not that the other ones are bad. It's just that this one has a lot lighter energy, a lot more child-friendly energy, I guess. but also very powerful in his own right. Much older, ancient dragon energy here. And it's going to sound a little bit difficult for me on my voice because I have a certain voice that doesn't do well with this deep, like, you know, dragon kind of tone. So do bear with me. It's just what has to come through. And it's all loving energy, even though it sounds maybe a little rough or maybe aggressive at times, but it's dragon energy, okay? And that's what's going to happen. So put your mind off to the side of all the things that you're, you know, thinking about, and just kind of be in the energy. And while we're doing this too, if you would, to send out your own heart waves to the planet and to rebalance where there again is scarring and hot spots, and then where there might be too much flooding or too much water and that kind of thing, so we can temper it, and to put the fires out to help Mother Nature, and to help with the winds of change, and bring the rain, not the lightning as much. We don't need any more lightning strikes that are causing fires, but to bring the steady rain. And I realize you can't sometimes have one out without the other. We have monsoons out here. You usually have lightning and storms, you know, with it, but and sometimes wind, which is not always great. But generally, just bring the rain, okay, with this in your own way, and that way sending it out to the planet as well, okay? Marati, Maratara, Maki Ukura, Uranta, Iru Uso, Mendaragaranda Gaye, Aroam Ar Ash, Soradani, Ivag, Waga Endere Ira Gugura, Woronda, Woi. Siwa kayanda hama, wada zayegi wa, induhar aye, mara sora maki, mbarasha usha, wash, 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 isuaku aren, woot, woot, hot, hot, hinjishi wa gagai. Umbaradaza, Kivarandara, Wum, Washio Gogu Ar, Mas, Wokahiti Ir, Umbaragaran, Hurondari de Ura, Tuzaga Adi Ira, Mash Ar Ur Ox, Aro Urum, Ari Ura, Maradiri, Marajiu, Urongo, Irutuzu Ura, Imbara Ura, Mbara Imbe, Mbara Erso, Mbara Wosh, Hurazongo Yodoro Zoga Hare Kera Marata Ense Wosh Ala Umsa Ashi Uka Dai Wosh Dari Woshe Idewa Ka Osh Alama Osh Diri Eat Alaku o Rakama o Teo Ashe Osh Marada Umbarazandi Umbaragave Udara Morso Maragai Ende Uradaga A Iraga Umbaraje Horas Hokai Ukna Hotas Haradan and Shira Umbara Wosh Vara Unsha Deiwa Balansa. Everybody take a nice deep breath in. And as that deep breath goes out, see all the fires being quelled around the globe, around the earth. In particular, this Raphael and backbone fire here, and blowing all of the harshness and the flames out and extinguishing them with water and moisture, easing the temperation of the planet and circulating all of the energies in balance and harmony, seeing the planet balancing out, seeing the energies balancing all across the energy of the globe, every sector, every area, in balance and harmony with Mother Earth and Gaia. As you breathe this also into your own life, harmonizing any areas of your own personal life that require attention, that require the fires to be extinguished from excess, heavy emotions or heavy anger, hot anger, and seeing that being temperate now, managed by the cooler temperatures coming back into balance. And also in your life where it may feel like there's a flood of energy, too much or excess, water, emotions, grief, sadness, things of that nature, to come back and also rebalance that, warming it up with the energies of fire just a bit so that it becomes more tempered and balanced, and harmony is back and restored in your life again. All right, you guys, powerful energy from Valion, the Wisdom Keeper, and his energy just really trying to balance out all the excess on the planet in the weather and fire energies. So keep your prayers and your rain dances coming to this area in particular in a nice, steady, slow pace so that it can be absorbed and put out the flames. And also, if you'd like to work with me further privately, you can find me on where? LIGHTSTARcreations.com, where I have all of my sessions, my private sessions. I also have my galactic energies, my session work. I have my galactic, elemental, and angelic artwork that you can purchase on my website as well in many different forms. As well as my music activations, my 444 music activation, and my Transcension 2222 vision quests and music that is also available, and my Magical Dimensions Oracle cards that you can also purchase, as well as custom art and all sorts of good stuff on there. So please be sure and check out my website, and I will be back with some more content, but just know that for you, just a brief little update of our situation with trying to find a place to live. We are still looking, and we are probably going to have to go into a temporary place next month, which is when we're having to move, which is at the end of July. And, we'll see what happens, but we most likely will still be going into some temporary place until we can find something that is suitable for us and the right situation. So prayers, also coming our way would be awesome. Just for, again, those of you, thank you so much for all the prayers that have been sent so far. We're still in the midst of a lot of things, and now we have this fire to contend with. So yeah, a lot going on in our lives, but we're doing great. We're hanging in there, and we're gonna, I know on the other side of it is just gonna be something wonderful and creative and awesome. And by the way, one of the dreams I got last night, I'm just going to share this. It's very important for myself. Personally, I got a reading from someone in my dream time. I don't know who it was. Could have been a guide. I don't know. But it was an oracle reading, and it was not using my cards, but the oracle card that came up was breakthrough. It wasn't my deck, but it was a card reading that the card that was coming up was breakthrough. Okay, so I do feel that for myself, that yes, I will be getting some breakthroughs finally. It just is coming, and so we'll wait for that to be sharing what those breakthroughs are. But that was my dream time guidance, just telling me that it's going to be okay. You know, this has been a tough time, and it is going through a lot of turbulence right now, but you're going to have a breakthrough, and I know that's going to happen, and I'm sure that's going to happen for a lot of you guys out there that are going through similar stuff. So hang in there, okay? So that's all for now, and I will send you guys lots of love from the galactics, the elementals, and the fairies, and the, who did I leave out? From the galactics, the elementals, and the angelics. Can't forget them, oh my gosh. All of your spiritual guides and all the beings of love and light that are around you, that are assisting you at this time. So sending you lots of love, and we will be back soon with some more content, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye now.